Hey guys, tonight we step into a world of towering walls, quiet fields, and the low hum of something not quite right in the distance. You're sitting beneath the sky, watching a bird circle lazily overhead. The wind smells like bread, mud, and old wood, and for a brief moment, everything is perfect. But this is Attack on Titan. And well, you're Eren Yeager. You probably won't survive this. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. And hey, drop your location and what time it is where you are. I always love seeing where you all are tuning in from. Now, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. You're 10 years old. Your hair is a mess. Your fist is small but frequently clenched, and your biggest ambition is to see what lies beyond the walls. People say that's insane, but to you, it's the only dream worth having. You stare up at that bird and feel a strange envy. You want that sky. You want that freedom. Even if you don't know what freedom really means yet. The town of Shiganshina is slow and warm. You kick rocks through narrow streets, steal bread from your sleeping dad's office, and trail behind Mikasa and Armin like a kid in a dream. The three of you are inseparable, one bundle of bruised knees and scattered ideas. Mikasa protects you. Armin tells stories. And you yell a lot. You always want more. Your dad is a doctor. He vanishes sometimes, then comes home with that heavy, haunted look in his eyes. You don't ask why. You just know he keeps a key around his neck and tells you things like, when the time comes, go to the basement. You shrug. Adults are weird. You come home to find your mom making stew. Your dad's gone again. The smell of boiling carrots fills the air. Life is small, repetitive, and safe. But deep inside you, a whisper grows. The feeling that this peace is temporary, that something's coming. And then it does. It starts with a low groan. The walls shake. People scream. You drop your bread. And then you see it. A foot the size of a barn crashing through Wall Maria like it's cardboard. Smoke rises, bricks fly, and then fire. So much fire. It's the first time you see the colossal titan. And it's the last time you see your old life. You run. Your legs are slow. Mikasa grabs your hand. Armin's yelling something you can't hear. Everyone's screaming. Horses are trampling mud and memory. And then your house. Crushed. You see your mother trapped beneath the rubble. Her legs are bent wrong. She tells you to run. You don't want to. You can't. A soldier pulls you away as you kick and scream. She smiles one last time and says, "Be strong." The smiling titan bends down and eats her like she's nothing. It's a moment that lodges in your chest and refuses to leave. You will never forget the sound of her bones cracking, or the way the soldier's eyes stay dry, or how you stop being a child in that exact moment. You end up on a refugee boat, riding the river toward the inner wall. Everything behind you is ash. Mikasa doesn't speak for hours. Armin's eyes are hollow. And you clutch that memory like a weapon. You promise yourself, you'll kill them all. Every last one. That's the day you become someone else. The military gives you bread. The people give you stares. You hear whispers of how you don't belong. How the outer wall kids bring trouble. You don't care. You're already planning your future. Join the scouts. Learn how to fight. Go beyond the walls and destroy every titan you find. Historians still argue whether the breach of Wall Maria was preventable. Some say the royal family knew it was coming. Others whisper about internal betrayal. All you know is, no one helped your mom, and that's enough reason to fight. In the meantime, your life consists of moldy soup, rough blankets, and public resentment. You practice punching trees until your knuckles split. Mikasa watches with that silent worry of hers. Armin brings books, maps, old legends, scribbled dreams. You start to believe in them. One night, you dream of your father again. He's blurry. His voice echoes, "Eren, when the time comes, a basement." You wake up sweating, hand curled tight around nothing. What basement? Why does it feel important? A fringe theory from a traveling merchant says that titans aren't real monsters. There's something else. Puppets. Experiments. Some people laugh at him. Others listen quietly. You take it and file it away. just in case. Time passes. Your fists stay clenched. The world is big, but your world for now is bread, firelight, and the sound of distant footsteps that never quite leave your ears. The training grounds are a far cry from Shiganshina. The walls feel taller here, more like prison fences and protection. You stand in a long line of recruits, your stomach growling as an instructor with too much spit and not enough neck screams directly into your soul. You're in the cadet corps now. Congratulations. Your first night is mostly yelling. Names are called. Backgrounds are judged. Sasha eats a potato. That's not a joke. She just pulls out of her pocket like it's currency. She's your first friend who doesn't look like she wants to punch you or lecture you. You respect that. You train hard. Like, fall on your face. Throw up your guts kind of hard. They strap you into the ODM gear and spin you around like a broken amusement park ride. You can't balance. Not even a little. The instructor shakes his head and mutters something about how Yeager's hopeless. You train harder. There's mud under your fingernails. Bruises on top of bruises. Mikasa passes every test effortlessly, which annoys you in a way you can't describe. Armin tries. His head's too full of ideas and not enough blood pressure. Still, the three of you stick together. Meals are short. Sleep is shorter. And every day is a new way to break your bones in the name of humanity. You meet Gene, he's smug, fast, and loud. You hate him. He might be your best rival. Connie's dumb in an endearing way. Reiner gives strong big brother energy. Annie stares like she already knows your secrets. You get better, slowly, one tree flip at a time. The world of Titans becomes academic. You're forced to memorize types, weak points, strategies. Someone asks what you do if your teammate got eaten. You say, cut them out. The instructor makes a face. He doesn't realize you're dead serious. One evening, Armin shows you a book about the ocean. He says there's salt as far as the eye can see. You laugh. You tell him he's dumb. But late at night, you wonder what would feel like to touch water that doesn't stop. The training camp is surrounded by forests that creak in the wind. At night, when you lie awake staring at the wooden beams above your bunk, you sometimes hear a howl or something heavier. You tell yourself it's just trees shifting. You don't believe that. Historians still argue whether cadet dropout rates were higher due to injuries or sheer fear. Either way, your year group shrinks every month. One morning, a new instructor takes over equipment inspection. He adjusts your belts, tightens a wire, and then, boom, you balance. Perfectly. It wasn't you. Your gear was broken the whole time. You passed that day's test with fire in your eyes. For the first time in weeks, you feel something like pride. Mikasa smiles barely, and Armin practically combusts from happiness. The instructor gives a tiny nod. You won't forget that. Still, the dream doesn't go away. The one with the bird, the fire, the basement. You wake up gasping, clutching the sheet like a weapon. After graduation, they let you choose. Most want to join the military police. Easy job, inner city, less chance of being eaten alive. You don't even hesitate. You choose the scouts. Gene calls you crazy. You agree, but that's the point, isn't it? You didn't survive all this just to live in a cage. On the last day, you stand at attention. The sun hits your face. Commander Keith Shotties gives one of his grim pep talks about death, honor, and corpses. You stare at the distant wall. You swear you see the bird again. There's a strange calm in your chest, like the moment before a wave crashes. You don't know it yet, but tomorrow, the Colossal returns. It's supposed to be a routine post. Just some gate duty, a little marching, a lot of standing around and sweating in your uniform. You're stationed near Trost, and the worst thing on your mind is the soup they serve for lunch. It's always gray. You're not sure what ingredient makes it gray. Then the sky turns orange. A boom splits the air. Thunder without lightning. You look up too late. The Colossal Titan is here again. Its face peers over the wall, like a nightmare, finally remembering you exist. Steam hisses from its skin like a boiling kettle. Before anyone can scream, it kicks a hole into the wall. The shockwave throws soldiers like rag dolls. You hit the ground, ears ringing. You scramble to your feet, heart punching your ribs. The Titans pour in, giants of every size, shape, and horrifying smile. Chaos, screams, blood. You charge forward. This is what you trained for, right? Spoiler, it isn't. The first time you face a Titan, you freeze. Its eyes are too human, too close, too wrong. Then it eats Thomas. Just like that. You see his legs dangle from its mouth. You try to shout. Nothing comes out. Armin nearly dies. You shove him out of the way and throw yourself into the Titan's jaws. Everything goes white. Then everything goes black. When you wake up, you're not dead. You're also not you. You are a Titan. Not just any Titan. A big one. Muscles on the outside big. Screaming and punching other Titans big. You don't remember what happens next, but others do. They say a Titan appeared, ignored the humans, and slaughtered its own kind with terrifying precision. That Titan was you. Historians still argue whether this was a fluke, a miracle, or something darker. Some whisper the word shifter. Others just say devil. You collapse after the fight, naked and steaming in a crater. Mikasa finds you first. Her expression says, "What now?" You're not sure. The military isn't thrilled. Understandably. 1 second you're cannon fodder Eren Yeager. Next second you're a Titan who punches other Titans in the face like it's personal. They throw you in a cell. A big one. With chains. Commander Pixis pays you a visit. He asks you questions you don't have answers to. You say something about sealing the breach. You offer your neck. Mikasa gets very tense. Armin tries to science his way out of it. It's a mess. And yet, they let you try. So you do. They drop you into a battlefield like a rusty tool. You bite your hand. Scream. Titan. This time it takes effort. Pain. You feel your bones grow. Your skin tear. Your mouth shape around a roar that's both yours and not. You punch through rubble. Carry a boulder. Plug the hole. Then collapse again. Steaming and half-conscious. The Titans are pushed back. Tros is saved. Mostly, the victory is shaky. People whisper your name in awe and fear. You're still a soldier, but now you're something else, too. You're a weapon, a secret, a problem. They let you walk free, with a few caveats. Like being watched 24/7 by Captain Levi, humanity's sharpest sword and grumpiest babysitter. You don't mind. His boots are cleaner than your soul, but at least he doesn't scream as much as Shotty's did. You join the scouts. The dream is alive again, barely, through fog and fear and politics. And somewhere, always, the memory of your mother's last breath plays like background music. You don't forget. You never will. But now you have a Titan inside you, and that changes everything. The open field should feel like freedom. Green grass, blue sky, no walls, just air and sun and splat. Titan, your first expedition outside the walls is exactly as terrifying as you expected. Horses bolt, people scream. You hold tight to your gear and try not to think about how much space there is between you and anything remotely safe. Titans come fast, too fast. You zigzag through trees, slash at ankles, aim for the nape, pray your blade doesn't snap. You kill one. It's horrible. It smells like rotten eggs and heat stroke. You can still hear it breathing when its head hits the dirt. Still you survive. Barely. Levi yells at you for something. Probably almost dying. Again. Then things get strange. An abnormal Titan shows up. That's what they call the weird ones. This one's fast, coordinated. Female. Her moves are too human. Too precise. She kills a lot of your squad. You chase her anyway. She kills more. Your breath tastes like blood. Your mind goes white. You transform. Titan on, Titan again. You go feral. Your screams echo across the trees. You land hits. She hits harder. She screams, too. It's not a battle. It's a message. She retreats. You fall. Back in human form. You're chained again. Everyone's asking questions. Theories fly. Armin suspects Annie. You don't want to believe it. You also do. So you bait her. Classic trap. Recruit training tunnel. What could go wrong? Everything. She refuses. You transform. She transforms. It's chaos in the city. Cobblestones fly. People run. Mikasa yells. You fight. You lose. Then win. Then both. Eventually, Annie crystallizes herself. Just encases her body in a glowing rock. It's a new level of ghosting. Historians still debate whether this moment marks the true beginning of human versus human warfare. Some say it's when trust cracked. Others say it was earlier, when the wall first fell. You just know you're tired. And the basement still calls. But no one will let you leave the city. Your Titan powers grow stronger. You're learning to harden your fists. That's what they call it. Hardening. Great branding. Levi keeps a close eye. Hang pokes you with sticks and takes notes. You scream a lot. Still, progress. But the politics are worse. The military police want to dissect you. The king wants you hidden. The people are terrified of you. Again, Armin theorizes that Titans might be people. Real people. That maybe they didn't choose this. You stare at your hand and wonder how much of you is still you. The capital calls. They want your head. Literally. But Commander Erwin has other plans. He whispers about a coup, about replacing the corrupt monarchy with real leadership, about dragging the truth into daylight. You nod, not because you understand, but because you're too tired to care. Plus, Levi says you're going to be bait again. You're getting used to it, so you run. From guards, from spies, from your own shadow. You switch clothes with Astoria, a girl with her own secrets, and you hide in a cave. Great plan. Until her father finds you. Rod Rice, the real royal. He wants to turn Astoria into a Titan and feed you to her. Apparently, if she eats you, she gets your powers. Family bonding Titan style. She refuses. Then Rod licks Titan serum off the floor and becomes a disgusting, crawling, skinless slug the size of a small cathedral. You fight. Barely. Historia lands a final blow. She's crowned queen. You realize the world is much, much bigger than walls and Titans. There's Marley, the ocean, the war, and your father? He wasn't just a doctor. He was a thief, and he stole the power of the Titans from someone else. You remember the basement. You remember your promise. And you know, finally, where you need to go next. So here's the plan. Head back to Shiganshina. Reclaim your hometown. Plug the hole in Wall Maria, and finally, get to that stupid basement. Sounds simple, right? Cue. Absolute disaster. The scouts ride out under moonlight. The air is heavy like it knows what's coming. You try to act brave, but your stomach does this slow flip thing every time you think of Colossal Titan, or the Armored, or Reiner. You still can't wrap your head around it. Reiner and Berthold, your friends, were Titans all along. They told you themselves, like someone casually admitting they borrowed your hoodie and never gave it back. Also, we killed your mom. Sorry about that. Historians still argue whether Reiner's confession was a slip or a strategy. You just remember standing there, slack-jawed, thinking, what? Now? Really? Anyway, you get to Shiganshina. The town is a skeleton of what it was. Cracked bricks, collapsed roofs, that bakery where you once stole a bun, flattened. Mikasa pauses in front of the ruin that used to be your home. You don't stop. You can't. You know they're waiting. And they are. Reiner bursts out of a wall, like a surprise party no one wanted. Berthold hangs back, of course, tall, steaming and dramatic. And then there's the Beast Titan, casually tossing boulders like it's a backyard barbecue. You transform. You fight. It's ugly. Your fists slam into Reiner's armor over and over. He counters. You grapple like drunken wrestlers in a nightmare. Meanwhile, the scouts are dying. Erwin tries to rally them with a last stand speech so powerful it echoes. He tells them they're already dead. They charge and die. Levi gets close, real close, to the Beast Titan. He carves him up like a birthday cake. But it's not enough. Zeke escapes. Then there's Armin. Sweet, hopeful, ocean-loving Armin. He sees a chance, tells you to trust him, and runs straight into a blast of Colossal Titan steam. He burns. He burns until he's ash and screams. You defeat Berthold. Somehow. Barely. And then comes the real horror. Only one Titan serum left. Only one of them can live. Armin, charred but breathing. Erwin, gutted but breathing. You want Armin. Levi wants Erwin. Everyone screams. Eventually, Levi changes his mind. He picks Armin. Historians still debate that choice. Some say it was compassion. Others say it was the future choosing itself. You just cry. Later, Armin wakes up and stares at the sky, confused. You don't tell him what it cost. Instead, you open the basement. The lock clicks. Inside, dust shells and a desk. No magic weapon. No Titan-killing blueprint. Just books. Books full of another world. Photographs. Technology. A sea you've never seen. And a man, your father, with secrets so deep they echo across generations. You learn the truth. Titans aren't a curse. They're a weapon. And Marley, an empire across the ocean, created them. Your father was born there. He escaped. He stole power and gave it to you. You, Eren Yeager, are the inheritor of the founding Titan. You also now hate the world. And the world, it hates you back. You sit by the sea, toes in the sand, watching Armin marvel at the waves like a toddler in a mythology book. Mikasa is quiet, arms folded, eyes on you, not the ocean. The salty air is heavy with something unspoken. So, this is the ocean. The thing Armin dreamed about. The thing you thought would mean freedom. You stare across it. It doesn't feel free. It feels like a new cage. You muttered aloud. If we kill all our enemies over there, will we finally be free? No one answers. Back inside the walls, you're different now. Everyone can feel it. You're quieter, sharper, like a knife that's been honed for one purpose. You let your hair grow. You stop smiling. You think about Zeke, your half-brother, apparently, and all the weight that single revelation carries. Historians still argue whether your silence after the basement discovery marks the beginning of your descent or your awakening. You don't care what they call it. You've seen the world, and it's nothing like the stories. The Marleyan enemy isn't just faceless monsters. They're people, kids, families, soldiers who believe you are the monster. The irony doesn't escape you. You disappear for a while, vanish from the walls. No note, no goodbye. You cut your hair, change your name, infiltrate Marley. You walk their streets, watch their children laugh, hear them whisper about devils like you. You look in the mirror and wonder if they're right. Then you meet Falco. He helps you, clueless about who you are, kind, hopeful. You almost feel bad. Almost. Then the festival comes. You wait underground, legs still, heart slow. The time has come. Willie Tybur, the charming politician, gives a speech above you, announcing to the world that Parody Island is a threat that must be eliminated. You transform. You obliterate the stage. You crush Willie, and you begin a massacre. Blood rains down on the city. Screams echo through the streets. Buildings collapse under your fists. It's not surgical. It's not precise. It's revenge. And it's personal. The Warhammer Titan appears. Elegant. Deadly. She spears you through the chest with a pillar of hardened crystal. You roar. You fight back. You nearly die. Again. Then Mikasa arrives. So does Armin. Levi. The scouts. All of them. And now they're war criminals too. Together, you kill the Warhammer. You drink her blood. Literally. Don't think too hard about it. Historians debate whether this was the true turning point of the war. Some say it was diplomacy's death. Others say it was your rebirth. To you, it's just another step. You escape Marley with blood on your hands, a new Titan power in your veins, and your childhood burned behind you. On the ship ride back, your friends confront you. Mikasa pleads. Armin yells. You barely respond, because you've already made your decision. You come back to Parody a hero to some, a terrorist to others. Depends on who's doing the pointing. The walls haven't changed, but everyone inside has. There's suspicion in every glance, arguments in every hallway. They whisper now about you, not with fear, with doubt. You feel it. The truth weighs heavier than the ODM gear ever did. There's no clear enemy anymore. Just people. Misguided, manipulated, dangerous people on both sides. You visit Sasha's grave. She died during the raid on Marley. Shot by a girl barely taller than her rifle. Gabby, another child soldier. Another mirror. Mikasa stands beside you. Says nothing. You wonder she still sees the boy who stared at birds and swore vengeance through tears. Probably not. You don't either. Inside the walls, politics erupt like boils. Factions emerge. Protesters shout. Soldiers murmur of a new group rising beneath the surface. They're called the Yeagerists. Yeah, your name, your face, your legacy, whether you ask for it or not. Zeke shows up as planned. You cooperate. That's what you call it. Even though Levi keeps one eye on Zeke and the other on you, always watching, always ready. You're not ready to trust Zeke either. He says the founding Titan can rewrite the biology of all Eldians. He says he has a plan, one that will end suffering forever. Sterilization. Make it so no Eldian can ever have children again. Wipe out your people, gently. You nod. You lie. Historians still argue whether this is where your plan diverged. If you ever truly considered Zeke's solution, or if you always had your own, one far louder. Meanwhile, Armin and Mikasa try to talk to you. They want you to explain yourself, to open up. You don't. Not really. You say things that cut. You tell Mikasa her loyalty is just biology, that her choices aren't real. She flinches, like you hit her with more than words. Armin punches you. You don't fight back. Not really. You let him win. You're already gone. Somewhere deep inside, you've seen it. To the founding Titan's power. The full truth. Past, present, future, all tangled together like threads in an old scarf. You've seen where this ends. And who ends it? Your father, your brother, your friends. You. Everything that happened will happen. Is happening. You saw it in paths, in time, in blood. You make your move. Zeke tries to take control of the founding Titan. Too late. You're already there. You show him the memories he buried. The truth about your father. How Grisha Yeager hesitated. How you, from the future, whispered in his ear and made him do it. Made him slaughter the Rice family. Made him pass the Titan to you. You always thought your dad forced destiny on you. Turns out, it was the other way around. Zeke shatters. You move forward. You speak to Emer, the ancient child who became the first Titan. She's been waiting, a slave to the royal bloodline for 2,000 years. But you're not royal. You're just angry. You ask her, is it time to let go? She blinks and obeys. You unleash the rumbling. Colossal Titans, thousands of them, rip free from the walls. The ground quakes. The sky burns. They march, step by step, across the earth. You become the founding Titan in full. Massive, bone white, a thing from nightmares. You say it's to protect your friends, to end the cycle, to give Eldians one chance at peace. Historians still argue if it was genocide or mercy. You don't answer. You're already halfway across the sea. You are everywhere now. Your body stretches across the horizon like a dying god. Your bones have become scaffolding. Your ribs arch over entire cities. Your head is somewhere up ahead, impossibly distant. You're not sure where your actual self is anymore. Not physically, anyway. But your voice reaches everyone. You speak directly into the minds of every subject of Emer, all Eldians around the world. Children freeze mid-play. Soldiers drop their weapons. Farmers look up from their fields. You tell them, I'm flattening the earth. Simple. No sugarcoating. No comfort. You say the world will never stop hating Eldians. That the only way to guarantee safety is to wipe out everyone who isn't from the island. And you mean it. You've seen the future. The alternate futures. The versions where you don't do this. And everyone you love dies screaming. You choose this one. Back on parity, chaos unfolds. The Yeagerists seize control. They start executing people in the name of freedom. You hear about it in pieces. One of Flock's speeches, a rebel hanged outside a garrison. Someone carving your face into a wall. Your friends? They're running. They've joined forces with their former enemies. Marlians, Peak, Reiner, Annie, even Gabby and Falco. Titans, humans, soldiers, rivals. United against you. Mikasa and Armin are still with them. Jean, Connie, even Levi, still limping but alive. They believe they can stop you. Historians still argue whether this alliance ever had a chance. Whether unity born of desperation is stronger than conviction born of pain. They chase after you aboard a flying boat, watching entire continents disappear beneath the feet of your army. Cities fall like sandcastles. Rivers boil. You don't flinch, because you're not there. You're somewhere deeper, somewhere else. You're walking through the paths again. Endless space, glowing trails, and Emer always watching. She doesn't speak, but she doesn't need to. You feel her sorrow, her anger, her exhaustion. You tell her you're not alone anymore. Maybe you believe it, maybe not. Meanwhile, the others land at Fort Salta, a last stand, their last hope. They don't know that you're listening, that you see them, that you still love them, every single one. Mikasa, running with her scarf flapping like wings. Armin, thinking even now, even here, there's got to be a better way. Levi, eyes full of ghosts, blade steady. Even Reiner, especially Reiner. You know what comes next, and still you march. The air at Fort Salta is heavy, soaked with soot, fear, and that eerie static that comes just before thunder or death. Your titans draw closer, each step shaking the sky. People scream. They try to flee, to hide, to pray, but there's nowhere to go. No wall, no weapon, no mercy. From above, your friends descend on the flying boat in ODM gear, their hearts thudding like war drums. They land amidst chaos, blades unsheathed, hearts shredded. You feel every move they make. You let them. Reiner transforms first. Armor cracks across his body as he launches himself into your advancing titans. He grapples with one of the walled titans, fighting like a man who's already accepted that he's going to die. Peak darts around the battlefield, using her cart titan form to drop explosives and detonate key joints in your skeletal body. Every time a rib cracks, your consciousness flickers. The pain doesn't bother you, but the resolve, that stings. Then there's Armin. You knew he would come. You knew he'd try to talk first. He stands atop the spine of your colossal frame, soaring through clouds, steam curling around him like morning fog. And he yells, he begs, he asks you to stop, to think, to remember who you were. He reminds you of the book you read together as kids, the one about the ocean, the salt, the boats, the freedom beyond the walls. He tells you, this isn't freedom, Eren. You stay silent. Because you've already had this conversation dozens of times, in your mind, in every future, every branch, every alternate thread you tried to escape. And every time, the answer was the same. Freedom isn't peace. It's choice. And you made yours. Mikasa lands nearby. Her eyes search for you, not the giant. You watch through the eyes of the founding titan. She still wears that red scarf, still clutches it like a lifeline. You remember wrapping it around her neck all those years ago, after those men murdered her parents and shattered her childhood. You wonder, will she be the one to end this? Below, the Marlian survivors rally. Soldiers you would have crushed days ago now fire into the legs of your titans, trying to trick them like it matters. Children cower behind debris. Even Gabby raises her rifle again, eyes wide with something between hate and heartbreak. Falco transforms. For the first time, he spreads wings, the jaw tightened with feathers, gliding through the sky like something pulled from a dream. He swoops in, carries allies across the battlefield, buys them time. Historians still argue about this. How did Falco's titan form change? Was it Ymer's will? A glitch in the power? A symbol of hope? You think, maybe it was just necessary. Everything starts breaking apart now. Levi, battered beyond belief, delivers a final blow to Zeke, your brother. decapitating him with one swift motion. Time pauses. The moment Zeke dies, something in you, in the founding Titan, begins to collapse. You feel it, like wires snapping your soul. The chain between past and present, between the rumbling and your will, begins to loosen. Armin transforms. His colossal Titan detonates atop your spine, sending shockwaves through the clouds. Fire spreads. Flesh crumbles. You feel yourself unraveling, bone, memory, rage. But you don't die. Not yet. You retreat. Somewhere deeper, somewhere untouched. And you wait, because you know what's coming next. The ending. The one you saw in every possible future. And maybe the one you wanted. You wake up in a quiet field. Grass rustles against your fingertips. The wind is soft, almost too soft. There's no sound of titans, no steam, no blood, just green. And Armin, sitting across from you. He's back in his cadet uniform, legs crossed, arms resting on his knees. His face is calm, but the kind of calm that comes after scream. You're sitting too, knees in the grass, hands loose in your lap. No walls, no titans, just paths. And truth, you know what this is. This is a space between memory and death. He looks at you. He doesn't ask where you are. He already knows. You speak first. You explain everything, your thoughts, your plans, your pain, how you saw every future, every choice, every path, how none of them ended in peace, unless you became the villain, the devil, the monster people could unite against. You say, if they hate me, they might stop hating each other. It's not just about Eldians. Not anymore. It's about forcing the world to choose, to finally change. Armin listens. He doesn't scream, but he does cry. He asks, why didn't you tell us sooner? You answer honestly, because they would have tried to stop you, because you needed them to believe they still had a choice. Historians still argue whether this was your redemption arc, or just a confession from a man who lost the plot. Some call it manipulation. Others call it clarity. You call it necessary. You show Armin the memories. All of them. From your father, your brother, your own past and future. You show him the love, the pain, the cycle of hate that stretches back 2,000 years to Ymir herself. You show him what Ymir wanted. Not power, not obedience, but release. And you gave it to her. Through destruction, yes, but also through understanding. Armin says one last thing before he fades. I'll stop you. You know that, right? You nod. You smile, just barely. You say, I'm counting on it. When you wake again, it's not really waking. It's falling. You're falling to the sky. Your Titan body torn to pieces. Your bones crumbling, your essence unraveling. You see Mikasa flying toward your head, a red blur against white bone. Inside your mouth, your real mouth, the true you, the boy beneath all of this. You sit in silence, waiting. Mikasa finds you there, and for a moment, you're just two kids again. No titans, no walls, just a basement you never reached together. She kisses you, then ends it, clean, gentle, final. Your head falls. The world begins to slow. And Ymir? She smiles. Finally, your body hits the ground like a forgotten statue, massive, cracked, and strangely quiet. No scream, no final roar, just the soft thud of inevitability. The rumbling stops. The titans freeze mid-step, and then collapse, all at once, like puppets whose strings have been cut. The earth trembles, then exhales. It's over. Not peace, just pause. Your friends gather around what's left of you. Mikasa stands nearest. She doesn't cry. Not yet. Her scarf flutters, crimson against a world drained of color. In her arms, she holds your head. Not your Titan's. Yours. Your hair falls across your face. Your eyes are closed. You look asleep. Somewhere nearby, Armin kneels, watching the dust settle. His expression is unreadable. Pain, relief, guilt. They mix together into something heavier than words. The others arrive slowly. Jean, Connie, Levi. Even Reiner, bruised but breathing. They did it. They stopped the end of the world. But what now? They expect the world to rejoice, to throw down its weapons and rebuild. But the Marleyan soldiers just stare. Their families just cry. And the survivors of the rumbling, those few who lived, aren't sure who to thank or blame. Historians still argue what this moment meant. Was it the first step toward peace or just a quieter form of war? For the time being, a strange kind of ceasefire holds. Gabby and Falco cling to each other. Peak helps the wounded. Annie finally speaks to Armin like she means it. And Mikasa walks away. She carries her head through the forest, through silence, through memory. She finds a hill, green and soft, away from war and history. She buries you beneath a tree. No speeches, no gravesite fanfare. Just soil and sky and wind. Then she sits beside you, wraps the scarf around her neck, and whispers something no one else will ever hear. A bird circles overhead. Not symbolic, just a bird. But maybe Mikasa smiles. Back in the world, power shifts. Parity is shaken. The Yeagerists are scattered. Some hide. Some are hunted. Some, weirdly, start rewriting your story into something neater. You become a legend, a villain, a savior, a weapon. People pick the version that helps them sleep. And your friends? They try to live. Armin is hailed as a hero. He hates it. Levi retires with more scars than memories. He still visits Erwin's grave. Jean and Connie return to the island, not as soldiers, but as men trying to plant something that won't explode. And Mikasa, she visits often. Years pass. The world changes. But the tree stays the same. Years pass like whispers. At first, the world is cautious, then calculating, then cruel again. Parity rebuilds. Slowly, uneasily, the walls are gone, and with them, the illusion of safety. In their place, guns, fortresses, ideology. The military reforms, then splinters, then reforms again under new flags and newer fears. Mikasa lives simply. She moves into a small house not far from your tree. She works with her hands, helps at the orphanage, shops in silence. She still wears a scarf, faded now, a little threadbare, but still wrapped around her neck like it's holding her together. Sometimes people ask about you. She says nothing. Armin travels, first to Marley, then further. He becomes a diplomat, soft-spoken, sharp-eyed, never quite belonging anywhere. He speaks in front of crowds, shakes hands with people who once wanted him dead. Sometimes he dreams of steam, of fire, of you. One night, he drinks too much wine and tells a room full of senators that Eren Yeager saved the world by almost destroying it. Half the room claps. The other half never invites him back. Reiner writes, letters mostly, to his mother, to Falco, to himself. He apologizes in everyone. Historians still debate the post-rumbling world order. Some say it was inevitable that parity would militarize again. Others say the island never had a chance. Peace was a brief illusion, like sunrise during a storm. The island builds weapons. The rest of the world responds in kind. You're dead, but your shadow never really leaves. They build a statue in your honor, or maybe as a warning. Bronze, towering, expression carefully neutral. Some kids climb it, some spit on it, some whisper prayers. You wouldn't recognize the streets anymore, or the soldiers, or the songs they sing. Mikasa visits less often. Her hair goes gray, her hands stiffen. She buries her scarf. Finally, at the base of your tree, no fanfare, just fingers in the soil, a long breath, and a quiet goodbye. One spring morning, a bird lands on her windowsill. It tugs gently at her shawl. She smiles, not because she thinks it's you, but because, for once, the wind feels warm. And far beneath the roots of that tree, your bones turn to dust. But your memory, that refuses to fade. The world continues its slow, inevitable spin. Parity modernizes. Asphalt replaces dirt roads. Radio towers rise where titans once fell. Electricity hums through cities that were once candlelit fortresses. Trains crisscross the island. There's even talk of airports. But not everything changes. The fear stays. Tension between parody and the rest of the world simmers. Borders tighten. Treaties form, then break. Skirmishes flare along distant coasts. Nothing official, nothing declared. Just warning shots. Just reminders. The new generation learns about you from textbooks now. They sit in neat rows, memorizing dates and battles. They take tests on the fall of Shiganshina. They fill in blanks next to Eren Yeager, Titan type. Underscore. Some circle founding. Others write devil. In one classroom, a teacher asks, was he a hero or a villain? A hand shoots up, both. No one claps. Meanwhile, Armin grows older. His speech is mellow. His step slow. He walks with a cane now, carved from a branch of a tree near your grave. People still listen to him, but they listen less. The world prefers louder voices these days. Mikasa, she fades into obscurity. No interviews, no memoirs, just quiet days, slow walks, and a garden that she tends like it's a living memory. She dreams sometimes, not of you, but a version of you before Titans, before power, before you stopped laughing when Armin made terrible jokes. She never tells anyone what you said before the end. She never will. Jean and Connie stay close. Jean becomes a reluctant leader, the kind that grumbles his way into influence. Connie opens a bakery. No one's really sure why. He just says, I got tired of fighting and like the smell of cinnamon. Reiner never marries. He lives by the sea, writing long letters that he never sends. Occasionally, he visits your grave. He doesn't speak while he's there, just sits. Sometimes he cries. Levi survives. Barely. He lives in a small village far from capital. Legs wrecked, voice quieter. Kids call him the chairman. Unaware of who he used to be. Sometimes, when the wind is just right, he mutters names. Erwin, Hang, Petra. Historians still debate who truly won the Titan War. Was it parody for surviving? Marley for exposing the truth? Or no one at all? New powers rise. Old ones fall. Titans are gone, but fear is a resilient thing. It just finds new shapes. Eventually, parody faces a new threat. Ships approach. Paratroopers land. A missile strikes near the capital. And just like that, it begins again. The tree where you rest is caught in the blast radius. But somehow it remains standing. Scorched, blackened, but standing. Decades later, when the fires stop and grass begins to grow again, a boy stumbles across that same tree. He doesn't know your name. He doesn't know about Titans. He just thinks it's a good place to rest. He touches the bark, feels something strange, like a breath, a flicker, a memory, and beneath his feet, deep underground, something shifts. It's been over 100 years. The boy comes back to the tree every week now, sometimes to sit, sometimes to nap, sometimes just to breathe. The world he lives in is quieter than yours was. No Titans, no walls, no war that he knows of, just rumors, half-truths, and old warnings carved into stone plaques no one reads. They don't talk about Eren Yeager anymore. Not in classrooms, not in speeches, not even in secret. You become myth, then dust, and now, maybe nothing. But under the roots of that strange, ancient tree, something lingers. The boy dreams. In his dreams, he sees glimpses. A bird slicing through the sky, a girl with a red scarf, a city of steam and fire, a boy punching a Titan's teeth in, an ocean stretching forever. He wakes up sweaty, heart pounding, hands shaking. His parents tell him it's just a nightmare. He's not so sure. One day, while climbing the tree, his fingers snag on a gnarled bump of bark. It cracks, not loudly, but like something old exhaling. Beneath it, faint and pulsing, is light, blue, warm. He doesn't tell anyone, but he touches it again. Every day, and every time, the light grows stronger. Historians, if there are still any, would argue whether this is memory, magic, or merely coincidence. Whether something of the Titan power still lingers in the soil, the air, the blood. The world has moved on, but not entirely forward. There are whispers of unrest again, a distant war, a fuel crisis, a border standoff that sparks too easily, weapons hum with energy not entirely understood, and in the shadows, a quiet faction begins to rise. They don't use your name, they use your symbol, the wings of freedom, repurposed, stylized, stripped of context, but still there. The boy grows older. He trains, he questions, he touches a tree less, but never forgets it. He doesn't know why he's drawn to it, why he sometimes hears things when the wind rushes through its leaves, or why he dreams in languages he's never learned. Until one day, someone else touches a tree. A girl, sharp eyes, quiet steps, callous fingers, and the moment her hand brushes the bark, everything changes. Light, heat, a soundless explosion of memory, and the world begins to remember. The light fades slowly, like a candle running out of wax. The bark of the tree cools, the grass hushes, and the boy and girl fall backward, eyes wide, breath frozen, memories not their own flooding in. They don't speak, not right away. How could they? They've seen lifetimes, warfare in stone cities, skies scorched with steam, a child with golden eyes watching the world unravel. They see you, Eren, over and over, screaming, crying, flying through air with blades like wings, laughing once as a child under cloudless skies. They don't know your name yet, but they feel it. They remember it, and deep in their bones, down in marrow still untapped by science, they understand something old has awakened. The world outside doesn't notice. Not yet. There are no titans now, no transformations, no screaming, but power has a way of reshaping itself. And in the right hands or wrong ones, history is more echo than lesson. Rumors spread of the tree that breathes, of dreams shared across oceans, of symbols appearing in ash. The old military flags are pulled out of museums. The wings of freedom reappear on jackets, etched into corners of notebooks, inked onto skin. No one calls it religion, not yet, but people are watching the horizon again, just in case. Mikasa's tree becomes a pilgrimage site. Some come to mourn, some to seek truth, some just to feel. And the closer they stand, the more they begin to remember things they never lived. The boy returns, older now, a soldier, maybe, or a wanderer. He places his hand on the tree and says aloud, for the first time, your name, Eren Yeager. The girl nods. She's seen the memories too. She carries them like an ache. Together, they wait beneath the branches. The sky turns gold. The wind is soft. A bird circles once, then again, then vanishes beyond the clouds. And far below, the roots twist deeper, not in malice, not in vengeance, but in memory. And maybe, someday in warning, the air is still now. No more marching titans. No more screaming skies. Just a slow, sleepy hush of a world finally trying to rest. You lie beneath that tree, the one planted with memory instead of seeds. Its leaves shift gently overhead, tracing lazy shadows across your face. The sun dips lower. The light softens. You feel your breath slow. Your muscles ease, one by one. Whatever this story meant, monster or savior, villain or hero, it's finished now. The choices were made. The paths were walked. And the tree stands, not to tell the world what to do, but simply to remember. It's okay if some of it doesn't make sense anymore. That's the thing about history. It's always a little blurry around the edges. And when you finally stop trying to understand everything, well, that's usually when sleep finds you. So let your mind wander now, back to the rooftops of Shiganshina, to the sound of blades slicing air, to the crunch of old boots on gravel, and to that one boy staring at a bird, thinking the sky was too wide for just looking at. You're safe here. It's quiet now. You did your part. Let the past settle like dust, and let the wind carry the rest away. Good night, soldier. Good night, Eren.